Hi, and welcome to the Trucking Scribe. It's Esther. Today we're working on week 3, and it's Psalms 19. And reading the commentary, I just felt shocked that I never thought of this, but the gentleman that I want to discuss with you in his commentary, he said that without the moon and the stars, man would not know that there was anything out in the universe. It would be just us. And that's my paraphrasing of it, but it made me think, I've never thought about that. I mean, yeah, we say there's the stars and the moon and the sun, but do we really realize that it is just not all black up there and not all blue? We get this beauty. Without God, we wouldn't see this. So in our Bible study this week, we're going to talk about 19. We're going to talk about the first through the sixth verse, I believe. And I'm reading the whole thing so you can hear it. Then we're going to make this little folio that opens up. I've got pockets and different stuff. And I do have the cover and one of the pages with the pockets on it in my Facebook group, where you can go and download it for free, along with a lot of other stuff that we have going on with this particular series. So go check it out. The full folio set will be on in my store, so I'll leave that link below too. Everything on the Beauty of God is half off this month, so go in there and check it out. I got quite a bit of stuff that's some sunflower related that I have just put under the term of the Beauty of God, because one of them is Sunflower Ladies, which is on sale too. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Hi, and welcome. Today we're going to look at Psalms 19. You can get this free in my Facebook group. All you got to do is go over there and agree to follow the rules, which is basically be nice to everybody and all, be respectful. You can get this over there too. This is the free Bible study that we've been working on this month. So I did the chapters and a weekly commentary. So this week we're talking about Psalms 19, which is a Psalms that's attributed to David. So I'm going to read it to you. To the choir master, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. Day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words, whose voice is not heard. Their voice goes out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them he has set a tent for the sun, which comes out like a bridegroom leaving his chamber, and like a strong man runs its course with joy. Its rising is from the ends of the heavens, and its circuit to the end of them. And there is nothing hidden from its heat. The law of the Lord is perfect, reviving the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The rules of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, even much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and drippings of the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is your servant warned. In keeping them there is great reward. Who can discern his errors? Declare me innocent from hidden faults. Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then I shall be blameless and innocent of great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. I just really enjoyed reading this every time I've read it. So a few things that I did find in the other book that I have another room that I've been showing you guys. It's the Walkie book. I'll put a picture up so you can see it. So David is praising God's creation in the Torah. In 1 through 6, David's praise of God's glory mediate by the heavens. And then 7 through 10 is praise of beauty and benefits of God's law. And then 11 through 13 is a prayer for salvation, a prayer for salvation from sin within and without. So it's a didactory prayer. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So what I was starting to take notes right in here because this was this. There were so many of them that I finally said, well, I'm going to print this off. So you can go to blueletterbible.com, I believe is the name. Yep. And here it's little, I can't see. .org. blueletterbible.org. And I'll link this in the description below so you can find it. But David Guzik, he did a commentary on Psalms 19. And I'm just going to read a few of the things, and we're going to focus today on these first few verses, 1 through 6, which is David is talking about the heavens and the sky, the moon and the stars. So let's see what David usually has to say. So first, he quotes from Van Gimmerman. So Van Gimmerman actually quoted C.S. Lewis. So this psalm reflects more than any the beauty and splendor of Hebrew poetry found in the Psalter. C.S. Lewis wrote, I take this to be the greatest poem in the Psalter and one of the greatest lyrics in the world. I actually found that quote in several different readings that I was looking at on Psalms 19. So here is the reading that Guzik is talking about. So 19:1 through 4, the heavens declare the glory of God. David looked to the heavens, not the spiritual heaven where God is enthroned, but the heavens of the blue skies and the night sky. And he clearly saw the glory of God. Now we're only going to read over to here, but it was just really touched me. He could see it in the blue sky with the glory of the sun and clouds and the beauty of sunrises and sunsets. He could see it in the night sky with the brightness of the moon, the awe of the starry sky, and the cloudy spread of the distant galaxies. These together with their size, their awe, their grandeur, shouted to David and all who would see. The God who created all this is glorious, and this is evidence of his glory. He is glorious in his size, having created something so big. He is glorious in his engineering, having created something that works together so well. He is glorious in his artistry, having created something so beautiful. He is glorious in his goodness and kindness, having created something for all humanity to see. And so he goes on, and the firmament shows his handiwork. But David repeated the idea of the previous line. The firmament is a poetic way of referring to the heavens or the skies, and they show the handiwork of God. Day unto day utters speech, and night unto night reveals knowledge. The day sky and the night sky speak to us, and reveal knowledge about the glory, wisdom, and creative greatness of God. This is stronger in the Hebrew text than it appears to be in English, for the image is literally of gushing springs that copiously pours forth sweet, refreshing water of revelation. So utters speech. That was by Boyce. He's in the back. If you guys are reading this and you do want to go find all of these references that are given, you just come back here and this guy's name is Boyce, so you'd come over here and you see him. Psalms is Expositional Commentary, Volume 1. So you can go and look this book up at the library. It gives you the year, so if there's more than one volume. So that's all over here in the references. But back here, so this was one I starred, this one and the next one. Day unto day utters speech, and night unto night reveals knowledge. So here, reveals knowledge. Knowledge is well matched with night, since without the night skies, man would have known until recently nothing but an empty universe. Now, that just really got my attention. You see the sky and the clouds and the birds and all the beauty in the sky, and you take it for granted every day. And then every night you see the beautiful moon and all the stars and the galaxies. And I had never thought about it, that without the night skies, man would know nothing. So here, let's see. If God had not placed the stars in the sky, the blackness of the night would have communicated powerfully to all humanity, ancient and modern. There is nothing and no one out there. Can you even imagine that? I mean, I had to really stop and think about that last part. There is nothing and no one out there. All those beautiful stars and moons and galaxies that you see, they're right. If it wasn't there, there'd just be black at night. We would have nothing. So that was very powerful. And then this next one also, though all preachers on earth should grow silent, and every human mouth cease from publishing the glory of God, the heavens above will never cease to declare and proclaim his majesty and glory. They are forever preaching, for like an unbroken chain, their message is delivered from day to day and from night to night. So this is though look, cited in Spurgeon. So again, you'd come over here and you would actually you'd find Spurgeon, because I do not see though look. Maybe that's the name of the book. Let me see. No, but that's the book you would be looking for. And then he goes on. Day bids us labor, night reminds us to prepare for our last home. Day bids us work for God, and night invites us to rest in Him. Day bids us look for endless day, and night warns us to escape from everlasting night. I mean, just this part in talking about the heavens declaring the glory of God, and they don't even speak the sky proclaiming his handiwork. I mean, you can just look up there and you can see the beauty and the magnificence of it. It's not man-made, it's made by God. And it speaks daily to us and tells us that God did this. In the night, it reveals knowledge. And when you think about it, there is no speech, nor are there words whose voice is not heard. So you don't hear their voice. You don't hear them talking like we as humans talk. Their voices go out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. So that means that, as the earth revolves around in a circle, everybody is seeing the sun and the moon. And it comes like a bridegroom leaving his chamber, like a strong man runs its course with joy. Its rising is from the ends of the heavens, and its circuit to the end of them, and there is nothing hidden from its heat. I mean, we're talking about the beauty of God this month, and this really that first part right here really talked about the beauty that's in the world that God put out there for us. I'm looking out my window now, and there's the sun, there's trees and grass and dirt. There's probably bugs and I don't know what all else out there that God put out there. Who knows how He done that? Well, I mean, He done it like in Genesis. That's why we read Genesis to start with, was to see where this beauty began and who showed us this beauty. So there is this. I've done talked so much that I may be talking a little bit more about Psalms 19 because there's a few other passages in here. On Wednesday, this is week 3, so we're doing Psalms 19 all week. So Wednesday, there's some other stuff that I want to talk about, but I think we're going to stop here for today. So I hope you enjoyed the Bible study. I will put links to the Bible study, which is free. I will put a link to this, which is also free. This is all in my Facebook group. The Bible study you can find in my Facebook group. And I will leave a link for this study guide for Psalms 19. So you'll have all that to go and read for yourself, and maybe you'll feel that just, oh. So I hope you enjoyed that. Today, I don't know if you remember this, we did it last month, a little folio that I designed. What I did was, I just did the cover last month, so I used little pockets from scrapbook paper, which is great. You can use whatever you'd like for pockets. So I do have one for the beauty of God. So this is the first cover. I think I actually got 2, and I'm going to put this cover for free in the Facebook group and the background, one of the backgrounds, but we'll get to that. Because I hate wasting all this paper, I did put little labels and stuff wherever I could get them. You've got some tickets right here. You got labels. You just cut this out. Now, you can do backing like this, print it, and then you got front and back. Or like I'm going to do is, this is big enough, but I'm going to put this on the back. Let's see. So this is one I made yesterday, and this kit will be up to, it's another sunflower. So see how I use my paper? Where did it go? This is how I use my paper right here, and I like that look on the inside. I don't know that I have any more of that size, but I have some other paper. So this is what it's actually going to look like when we get done. It has a 1/4 of an inch spine and then another 1/4 of an inch over here. This one came out to be 4 3/8 by 7. And these should also. So this one I'm going to put up in the Facebook group for a free digital for week 3. This one and everything else I'm going to have listed in my Etsy shop, or I am trying to get everything moved from Etsy over to my website. So I'm going to put that down below too. I don't have all the fees that Etsy does, and it helps me out. So you can get this kit, and like I said, you got all this. You can see right here, there is a little mark on both of these. You can hardly see it, but it's there where we're going to fold, and it's on this one too. So, and you have 2 backing sheets, and the reason I gave you 2 different ones is because this kind of matches, and you may not want your pockets that matchy, but this, you could put them on and see them. Then you've got pockets, you got a label, card, and bookmark. On this page, you've got two pockets down here that are side pockets. And you got these 2, another label, a couple of tickets. Like I said, I really tried to fill up all the space I could. You got more little tickets and 2 more pockets, and then back here, I've got more labels down here. And these journaling cards, and here's a few fussy cuts to go with it. So this is more than you'll need for your kit. But, so I'm going to make this one like this. I am going to put a signature in the middle. So what I did was I took pockets and put them in here. That's why the 1/4 inch, to give it a little more room right there to put your spine in. and I put Velcro. So, and you're going to think Velcro on the wrong side, but what I wanted to do was put it like that, so you have that beautiful, you see the whole front cover, and then this has a little flap that closes it, and also as a topper. So my 5x7s, and I can't reach them right now, but this would fit on a journal as a topper. So I'm going to cut all these out, and I will be back. So I've got all this cut out. I did not print on the back, but this is on like 60 pounds. So this is actually 90-pound paper, bright white. So I will put a link in the description below if you want to get this. I like it. So I printed on that with all of it. What I'm going to do, I've got all this scrapbook paper. I've been trying to find ways to use it. So I'm coming through here and I'm looking to see. I kind of like that one. Yeah, not really. Not for this one. This maybe, but I still think it's too much. I did like this. That one too. I don't like that one at all, so it would probably be turned around the other way. So that looks good. Even that one. Or that one's picking up the browns. This is just too busy for a background that I want right now. That one too. So I've got a couple of good choices. I think this was the one I was going to put. So what I'm going to do is decide which way I want this going. Do I want it going this way or this way? I think I want it going that way. So this is actually, let me see how wide it is. 7 inches. So you could shrink it down and get 2 of these out of it, but I'm not going to. So what I'm trying to do, I did cut this off straight edge right here, so I'd have something to match it up with, and especially if you have lines like I did in this other one, like I had in here, I tried to get those lines straight. This one, because it's going up and down, it's not such a big deal. I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue it. Now today I don't think I'm going to do any inking or anything like that. I'm going to sew the cover just because I feel like it needs sewing to make sure that it's on there good. That's just me. But the rest of it I am not going to worry about. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not doing a very good job at it. It's just getting that straight right there. And it doesn't have to be. If your paper is not directional, I'm just doing what I can to get it to where the lines will match up, because that bugs me. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to crease these. We got plenty of pockets, and way too many pockets. What I do with this black line, I'm going to put right there, and then I'm going to put this line on the bottom so that it gives me a guide that's halfway straight. I'm going to do that with all these. And you don't need all these, but I am going to put a signature in the middle. So actually I'm going to probably use all of them. I hope y'all are having a good day. It's Friday for me. I think I'm going to put this up on Monday. I still have Faith Friday to do that I want to do for today. We're going to do Psalms 2. I think on Monday we'll actually have, remember, I think it's Psalms 19 and my paper's in the other room, so I will have to check on that. I put a little thing down at the bottom so you'll know what we're doing, because that's a little bit different than Faith Friday. On Faith Friday we are doing Psalms. I'm just reading a psalm. We started at 1, and then I've missed a couple weeks because I wasn't feeling good. We started at 1 and we're going through the whole book. So every Friday will be another Psalms that I'm going to read and kind of talk about a little bit. Sometimes maybe talk more than others. I'm not. So here, like I was saying, there's a line here, there's a line there, 1/4 of an inch away. There's one here, one there. I'm going to score that. I'm going to line up down here and line up there. Now, with the glue in there and the thicker papers, you probably need to go back and forth a few times. So I just go back over mine a couple of times so that it gets in there and presses all that down, and it probably wouldn't hurt to wait a little bit longer on my thing. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to just fold it over, increase that, and I'm just going to fold on those lines to give us our crease. What I like to do, especially when I'm using glue, is just take my bone folder and gently press that back where it stays on itself. So we got 1/4 of an inch for a. I may have to trim the front of this down because I think I scored my score a little bit too far. Let's see what I have to do. You know what? I don't think it's going to matter that much, but the other thing I want to do is round this corner before I even get started. Okay, so now we need to cut some paper. What I'm going to do is try and get all this together and set it over here because this paper I'm fixing to get is pretty big. This paper is, I think, 27 by 20. I'm not for sure because it's so big. My thing is up there on top. So as you can see, so right there would be 17. I'm thinking maybe 18. I don't know. We'll go with 18 and 19 by 24. 5, so that's 17 right there. If I bring it down, 17 and 7 is 24. Anyway, aside from the size, what I'm going to do with this is cut it down. This is Mohawk Superfine Eggshell 60-pound weight paper. And it is one of my favorites. I got a big pack of it. Because when I started bookbinding, this is what the lady that was teaching me, she was using. And the paper is just awesome. So what I'm doing, some of you may have seen me do this, but not with this big, great old knife. This is very old. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go like this all the way across my paper to the end. So what I'm doing is giving it a deckled edge. And what they say, and I have to get my mat right, is to be off of the ledge. So most times they are off the side of their desk, but since I'm trying to show y'all, and it's more comfortable for me, and this is up off the desk where my knife can kind of just float. Now one thing, and I didn't do the math, but I know on the other ones, I had to take some off. I'm trying to remember how my pages are going to fold. This way, this way. But we'll just trim them down when we get there, I think, because I'm getting confused. By the time you fold this, so you're folding it, the long ends together. So these are the long ends, and you're just folding it in half and doing the same thing. And you could use a big cutter for this if you wanted. If you wanted straight lines, but I know a lot of people like them all raggedy looking. I take my bone folder and press that pretty good. It seems to me to help with cutting some of this. So here's where I need it to be 8 inches, and it is 8.5. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead. I need it this way. Let's see, 16 and 8. So I need it to, I'm going to line up on my 8 right here and just use my ruler as a place to cut, just like that. And that leaves you a bigger piece. You can definitely save these. Don't get rid of them. And then we're just going to fold it in half. And this should be, look at that. It's a little bit shorter up here, but that's okay. We don't have to have it full length. We're just going to stick it in there. So same thing here. And I'm trying to get the side that's got the straight edge. That way I can have a little bit more of another deckled edge on this side. So then you just keep going till you get all your papers down to that size. So I'm going to set those over there for a minute while I get this one done. And then we'll do the other part all at one time. Now, this paper feels so good. When you look at it against the white, you can tell there's more of a beige color, tan. Well, I don't know, beige, tan. I'm not good with all that, but it's not that bright white. If you wanted to do the math on this and figure it out, you could, and then you could just cut the bigger piece, and you'd probably have an extra page by the time you get done cutting 1.5 off on each one. But by the time you fold it and fold it and fold it, I'm going to have to get the sizes and a piece of paper and sit down and look at it. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to go to this side over here that's straight, and I'm just going to cut it right here. So I'm going to finish folding these. So you should have 8 pages. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack them in together. Just keep opening to the middle. And then just keep on going. Now, if you wanted to stress these pages or anything like that, now would be a good time. I'm not just stressing. I don't think I would even copy dye this paper just because it's so pretty to me like it is. But, you know, that's up to you. So I usually do about 2 lengths of thread, because if I do 3 or even 2.5, I have way too much. So I did go and sew around the front. I sewed this for the back, and it looks like I'm going to need, because I was fighting with it in the sewing machine, but we can fix that. So when you fight with it in the sewing machine, sometimes this happens. What we can do is we could put this on here. It's going to be, well, it might be alright right here because it's all the same way, huh? So it still should fold for me without a lot of trouble. Just have to find my fold lines and then trim it. Right there. I don't really need this, but I could put some washi tape just to cover that up. I don't know if I have. So maybe do like that. Get a little piece there. Maybe a little piece over here. So I'm going to get this pretty even. Don't have to be perfect. Or I could slide it down and have a little more up here, but I kind of like it in the middle. So what I'm doing is I am shoving this part into my spine right there, trying to get it to where it will go when I poke the holes right here. So I'm going to put one up here, one in the middle, and one down at the bottom. And you can measure that too. I don't usually measure that. So I'm going to take this about maybe half an inch to an inch, and I'm folding this over so that when I poke it through, maybe it's going to come through where I want it. Since we're putting, I'm going to go in. I'm going to hold that with this finger, and then I'm going to go in this one. So, that's going to cover up my stitching that I did. If I put that on the spine, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I want it yet or not. I'm going to hold that so I don't lose it. It is kind of a little tight right in here, but I might have cut it too short. Let's see. I am using bookbinding thread. It's got a wax on it. So, let's see. I'm just trying to even these up to where they'll be close. It ain't got to be perfect. So I'm going to check on this side and make sure that I'm pulled tight. I'll have one string on one side of this and the other one on the other side. Just tie a knot. 2 knots actually. And if you have enough, you could tie a little bow. I don't know if I'm going to have quite enough this time. Either that or my fingers ain't going to work like they're supposed to. So there you go. So this is going to go in here. You won't see that as much, so I don't know. I do want to go ahead and ink that little bit of white just because this is brown. So if I put some of this over here, it's going to cover up my stitching too, where it's not covering up on if I put that. I don't think I'm going to put any on the spine right now because like I said, it's fine. If you look at either one of these two, if you look at this one, there's nothing on the spine to cover it up. This one too, it's going to be just like this one. So it's on the edge. And then we're going to put this little flap in. That way this can be a topper on my journal. I'm going to take this little hole punch, and if you see right there that white, I have found this to be the easiest way to get those little holes instead of trying to cut them. So you know what I've thought about doing is putting some of these together, or cutting them out, and doing up to this point. Maybe put the pockets right here, but maybe, then again, maybe not. You have to let me know in the comments below what you think. What I was thinking was get it to this stage and have all this ephemera together and box it up as a kit. And all you have to do is put your pockets, glue the pockets in where you want them. I'm wondering how that would work, if it would, because I know there's some people that don't want to sew their signatures in. There's others who would rather just take the whole kit and cut it. I would have these ready to go like this, and all of this cut, and all you'd have to do is glue them in where you wanted them. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Then I need to cut this little notch out, just like that. You can use your scissors. I just prefer my. So this one I'm gonna need a bigger punch. So then I just use, this is a 2 1/4 inch. And you see it's a little bit bigger than my paper. Yep, it pinched my hand right there. So yeah, basically, if I did this and I put this kit together, I would do like this. I would trim out these so that they would be, actually that is the smaller tags. So I'd have to take and cut those out. Let me do that real quick so you can see that. We've already scored these. And so what I could do too, if I did a kit, was go ahead and score all this, have it ready. So if you wanted to distress it, ink it, or anything like that, that would be up to you. The sewing part, if you wanted to do any sewing, but it would all be cut out and ready to go. We could say if I did a kit, and this is what I'm asking, is would you like a kit set up like this where you have your cover already in, or would you like a kit where you have the signature already in, sewed in on there and already folded with the Velcro if you want Velcro, just like that? You wouldn't have this. And then the pockets would come like this, already ready to just throw some glue on right here and put wherever you want. I'd have all this cut out and these cut out, the whole kit. And I don't know what I would charge it. I have to look at that. But let me know if that's something you might be interested in. So all I'm going to do is figure out where I want all of my pockets. Now I have this big one that I know I want to go right here so that when I put stuff in, you know, that's coming out, because if I put it over here, then I got to fool with that signature and everything else to get it out. And all you need to do when you get the kit would be to put some glue on there. So you got glue on all three sides. You're going to just stick it in here. And I do kind of push this end up in so it pokes up just a little bit to give a little more of that gusset feel in there. Want that one that way. This is the other one. So yeah, and this one's even smaller, so it would go down at the bottom. I'm gonna glue this one. I don't know if I'm gonna put them other ones down on the front cover yet or not. So what I like to do with the other pockets is to come in here like this and just put them in. Just glue them wherever you might want them to be. That's why I'm thinking I could make a kit and have everything ready, and then whoever gets it, the owner will be able to put their own stuff in just like this wherever they want it at. Because that's one of my concerns when I am doing this, is getting it in for people to, and they like where it's at. You know, a ready-made one's great, but at the same time, if you're like me, you just like the idea of creating, but at the same time, you may not want to do all of this. So all you need is a little bit of glue. You don't need a art glitter glue. You could use PVA glue. Let's see, this one's going to be a little, just like a hair too long. So for my page, the size of my page, you might have cut yours just right. But remember, I did kind of guesstimate on mine as far as the lining up. Again, just put your glue on. So if you are looking for journals, I do have some in my store. You can go and check out. I have a few of the envelope journals that I've already made. I have some just little simple journals. I have digitals that I've been trying to get started with those, so there's some in there. The sunflower lady that you saw at the first of the video. is one of them. So this is one of my kits you can go and get. There's a full kit and there's a folio kit. I'm going to trim her down where she fits better. That's all you need to do. Maybe trim this a little bit. So if I sent you the journal, I try and go ahead and measure all this so that when you get ready, you don't have to worry about all the measuring. Okay. So I could put this great big card back here. And I'm just randomly putting these in. I think I want that one over here. Okay, so then you got your tickets. Just as like a book plate on the front page. So there, it has some little gnomes and some pumpkins in there that you could put on. These cover up. They're not going to work right there. But you could go right there. What do you think? That one? Or the pumpkin? I like the gnome better. It kind of brings your eye around. So I'm going to stick it on there. I'll do it on this side. I could do another pumpkin somewhere. Maybe back here to where it would. Yeah, I think so. Let's do that one. So when I took my finger and rubbed the glue around, I was trying to get to the ends, to the edges, because these got some fine detail edges. So these could go back here and put some of those up front. So I hope you enjoyed making this little journal. Turned out really nice. It can go on the top of a journal or as a topper, or you could just do it as a little folio. It would fit perfectly in your purse. So you do have the option of folding it this way. I decided I just like this way better with the Velcro on the edge right there so that it will close. And then you have just your top. I will have this cover up in my Facebook group and the whole set with the ephemera, the pockets, everything over in my Etsy shop and on my website. My website's going to be better for me if you went over there because I'm trying to get everything moved over because Etsy charges so much on their stuff. But let me know what you think if you would like a starter kit with just the journal and the pages and the ephemera and pockets on the side so you could put them where you want them to go. If you're new here, it'd be great if you hit the subscribe button. If you've been here and you're new, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you like this little folio with the extra little ledge on it. And I hope that you guys have a great week.